So hello data points. So in this video we are discussing about this project, this MLOps project. What now I am currently doing vehicle insurance risk prediction MLOps project. I am working on this project. Now it is up to data injection part. So let's go through the comments it made in GitHub. So this is the repository I mentioned in the description, you can check out. So I made this video to show how to read the comments, means how I read the comments, commitments. So to understand how this project is made, because first of all I am learning now, and to know how this working we must need to go through the initial process, means first commit, then what is added, then go on, so and then so far. In this way we are doing this project. Okay, so let's get started. So first is initial comment. First of all, for readme and license and git ignore, this file is I got from doing git repository, means when we are create one new repository, that time we can added all of this options. So I added here. Then after that we need to connect with mongodb connection. So in this time, first of all, uv, I use the uv package manager because it is fast to downloaded and so on. So in this project I use the 3.11 Python version, and I mention all of these guidelines. So we follow this one by one. Then git ignore file, how is this created? We found some how I added all of this. First of all, I use this extension. Click upon this. If we go to generate git ignore, then we have the override and update. That time I update the files, we can see from here. Now what I added, the data, git, python and visual studio, this option I selected, so all of this added automatically. And I added this pickle file. Yeah, so now the py project tuml file, it's understood this. First of all, these are project name, version, description, readme and require python. It automatically generated all of this. First of all, uv log, this and the python version, all of automatically generated. So we go through all of this. So this is uh, used for during MATLAB plot time. MATLAB dot plot kind equals to bar pie chart. For this library is help SSS certificate from root directory. Imbalance data is our imbalance, so we use this library. After that, for so notebook helpful log guru, I use the logging. For this logging project I use the log guru because this is simple. So MATLAB, then NumPy, Pandas, Plotly, this all of this is the dependency during the error time. We use this, and that time we create some pipeline. I show you later. So this is the MongoDB connection time. After that .env, this file is created. So I show you what is in that file, scikit-learn and this. So this is true and requires this is, and these three lines helps us to communicate with this HCR file folder with our all packages. So we use this. Yeah, then let's go to the export MongoDB. So what we did, first we create a notebook, then mention on here. So simple. imports. Just a minute. So let's go to one by one. Raw data, here is data. Inside the raw we have our all the data set. This is our data set. Where here print some finds. Then this is to dict. We MongoDB is non-SQL data set. So we non-SQL, it simple means the key value pair. This is the key and this is the value, key and value, and all of this in a JSON format. So if we print the data 0, then index 0, it provides us this. Then load from .env. So what is in that? So we have like this. I have in the env folder I have used like this. For my username is this is randomly filled because I am cannot show this where I am currently working. So that, so MongoDB password and the cluster name. In this way we created username, password and cluster, database name and collection name. I will show you later in this Chrome. Then we are created our URL. After that, we create a connection client inside the database and what is the collection. In this way, then insert many, we insert all of this data set. Then again we call all of this, means from MongoDB we call our data, then we got all of this. You can see this is created through MongoDB. So let's check out. That time we got this email. Uh, you are created this and we are allowing anywhere this zero network permission. I show you later. So if we are go to the mongodb.com, simply login, and this is by default we created this. So here one cluster. Inside the cluster we have the project, database, so project, then the tag, the user, one user for I and one user is this, the data visualization I show later. So I am only working on this, so that zero, no any charges, we can delete also. So after that we can create new project from here. So inside this we inserted our data from locally to server. So this is browse collections, we define here the collections. This is okay. So and the view and monitor our database size, we click both of this. Okay, so first we go to the network access, then add the IP address. After that we got this. Okay, so let's go to browse collection. We understood how our data is look like. Okay, we need to connect. Let's connect our data. Vehicle cluster, this is the cluster name. Inside we have the pros one, which is this database, database name and pros one. When we click upon this, then again collection name is this pros one data. We have pros one data, means in the cluster we have pros one. In this pros one we have the project one data. Okay, this is 20 MB and this is, then let's click upon this data. Then all of this we can get from here. Okay, so first this is the generated from MongoDB. After that all of this data set we can look at here. Okay. This is how it's stored. It it extra addly underscore id and randomly generate data in the objects. Okay, so this is what data looks like inside MongoDB. let's go to let's go back and see the monitor. Read write time. Okay, let's create 1 week. What we did in this 1 week, because all of this work happens on 1 week. This is the calling time. We can command, we fetch data from here. We can see here, this is the 3 command. I also don't know the date limit, and all of these charts show something, the networks, the page, byte, number of injection, deletion, all of this we can get out from here. Insert, delete, command, network, all of this. And let's go to visualization. In visualization, what we got is automatically generated dashboard. We need to connect it. After that, it automatically generate few dashboard like male or female, and the graph of age, all of this like this. Look at. Okay, this is not, we need to connect. So this is the simple scraps we can got. Okay, yeah, simple. So let's go down. We cover up to our graph part, then logging and citation. First of all, what we did with citation, first of all, I found somewhere, I read the research paper, so that there is mentioned the citation. So I think to mention in this my project where it's so it, go to here, and if we copy this, then you got like this. Okay, okay, this is what you got like this. Here you can copy. So this folder do this, and in the logging, first we create inside the src, first we create the logger. This is the logger. Okay, first import the imports, create a log directory. If not present, then create one like this. Then how, what is the file convention? First is the date, how it's designed. First of all like this, year, month, date, then hour, minute, and the second. Then we added for the console and for the logging method. This is for colorful, for console, for terminal, and for logging we have like this. In this, if we are go to project, we create the some practical tips I mentioned I learned from the LLMs. So always log pipeline start and the end. When we are starting something, means one pipeline learning, then we mention the starting and the end method. Then log the data shape. What is the shape of the data we got from the MongoDB. After that, if we are in the model pipeline, then during logging time we use the log to the matrix. Then always log exception and use rotation logs. What is log, rotation log? This is the rotation, means for one file, if it is exceed from 5 MB, then it creates up to 3, means for the one logging we got the 3 files. If that is beyond the limit, means if one file is 5 MB, for this it create 3 files only like this. Okay, so after that we test our logging, and the test folder we have test logger. We create some basic format, try and expect, then call this to got our result. Does we got error, how it's look like, all of this we measure from here. Then exception added. If you notice, I added one file and I created commit. I added one file and create a commit, so that it is can easily maintain and easily previewed. Okay, in this update as well. So let's go to src, then exception. So in the exception we found this. Okay, I updated 14 hour ago. Oh, shit. Just a minute. So this is again we import the log guru, then first get details message error. So how our error is look like this. We want what we want is notice the file name, the line number. We got error occur at this file name. File name means this in the bracket. If you look at this is the file name also, but SRC exception. Then in this method we got 36 and the line number 36 we got. So we got message from here like error message is this. Error message is this. Error occur at script, then script name at line number 75, at line number 75, and the message is this. And the message is cannot access the local variable where is in the next night I fix some error. So we create one exception like this self fit inside we give the error, then error system details, then it error log dot error message, it logging and also show in a terminal like this. Okay, so this is we can easily find out like this src pipeline training pipeline it call this function at 19 number and we got this getting the data from mongodb like this. Okay, so we cover this, then data understand simple we create a inside the notebook we create one file to understand our data how it looks like. This is how it looks like. What say some commands, some graphs, we understand our data. For this project we are not emphasize much on how to create the features, how to understand the data, what is the pattern, how to fix the embellished data. We are mainly focused on the MLOps parts. Okay, then the define the constants in MongoDB connection. So in the config, first we define the constant. Okay, so why this is empty? Because we create constant here. Just a minute. In the src in the constant we create another files which is constant.py because at starting time it show the error in the int py, so that I feel, so that I create one constant.py means during the calling time it's called the constant slash underscore underscore int init underscore underscore py. It's not calling this file, it's called this file. So I created this. I talk with llm, it suggests this kind of information. So I if you notice we created one testing out on this file, then we create this, then load the .env file, load the .env file, and we got our credential. Then again we create our URL, then the pipeline, the model, what is the file model name, targeted column, current year, all of this. Then the data injection. I on in this video we are discussing about up to this data injection base directory up to this. So if we are okay, the constant loggers few updates on this file in the config. If you go and check out we what we got, this is the connection with MongoDB and with Python. So MongoDB client, create your client. Then first client equal to none means in the past when we are connect, it only create only one um, client. Okay, it not create many connections, so that when we insert or delete the data, it create the many data, so it conflict is happen. So it define only once. After that the database name which is defined in this. database name like this. If we control and click upon this, then it redirect to this. Okay, so this is the beneficial of creating one constant file. Then connection to MongoDB connected. Then this is some initial connection. Then here is our wrapping, our my exception we got here. Okay, if we control and click on this data, we got file this. Okay, we understood up to this. So we are cover exception module as well. We also cover the constant and one write the then config. Let's go to next. Very well, where we done this. Okay, MongoDB. Then we after connect with the data, we this data is defined in a key value pair. So what we need, we converted into data frame. So this pros one data is got is given what we need, means data access layer retrieve the data from MongoDB and it converted into pandas data frame. So first of all, simple, it create the connection. After that, when it create the simples, what we did in notebook. After that, what we do, first of all, we create the data frame, we remove the id column. If you remember, during this time, it creates one id column. Okay, it's create one id column that we delete from here. Then replace the all the non values with the na. Okay, if we found any error, then please capture like this. We cover this, we create the connection, means we got our data from MongoDB. After we got the MongoDB, we converted into pandas data frame. Then what we created, let's go through one by one. So we discuss about um, we already discussed about data access and constant. This is simple few updates. So we go to the data ingestion. Just a minute. Inside the config, we go to this. Config is 0, means we created for this int folder. This is missing, so we are created this. We are created artifact and config entity. Okay, I will show you src. For that, the entity inside the entity, we have the artifact. We say the artifact means where this file will located, means the training file path and testing file path. And the config entity means how this path is created. This is how the path is created, this is where it's saved. And this data ingestion is connected all of this. And after that, we create the pipeline, which is this. Let's go through one by one. First of all, we create the constant. From constant, we calling this config entity, means how our entity are created. So what is the pipeline name, artifact name? After that, artifact means the data set, the graphs, all of this are saved on here like this. Okay, so like this feature store injection. Let's um, this is the training and test file. Data ingestion artifact means we insert the data artifacts where it's saved. This file location is tell this. If we click upon this, it open the data ingestion folder. So let's go to the data entity. Inside the data entity, we call all the constants. So after we call the constant, we create our data injection config. Inside the config, first we create the base directory. What is the base directory? Data injection base directory. This is the data injection. This is the name. If you click upon this, this is. the data injection. After that, we create the feature store. Means what is the file name? File name is nothing but the dates. Okay, the date format. If we click upon this, it's open on here like this. Where is the year? Okay, if we click upon this, this is the file. This is the data ingestion file store name. Okay, data injection directory. What is the? This is the directory of base. So inside the data injection, we created inside the data injection, we stored our training and testing. So inside the data ingested, we store our data in training and testing like this. Okay, so we cover all of this. If you notice, first we create the constant, after the config entity, then artifact, config entity, then artifact, then create the component. What is the component? Component is data. Just a minute. What is the component? Component, inside the component we have the data injection. Okay, so let's see what we inject. Means when we create the constant, we call config entity, then activate entity. Um, all of these three code is integrate on here data entity. Then we create one pipeline. Inside the pipeline, we have training pipeline. Up to this, we fetch the data from MongoDB and create the artifacts like this and store on here. Up to this we are done. So data injection, first we define, means data injection, we call this file, then export data from the feature store. We create the feature store. From here we import the data. What is, we have the raw data that is imported. First we import the raw data, then we check the shape. If you mention in the logging, we mention that we need to save our shape of the data, so we save here the data. Then in the feature store, okay, just a minute. Shape of data, then we see the data converted into CSV. Okay, because from the MongoDB, what we have only the key value pair, so we converted into CSV format. Then we store in a feature store, then split the data as train and test data set. So when we are created this, then we are created this ingested. Okay, we created full we create we create wait to during the process time what is produced, and mention where is stored. This is the store, and this is the produce, means what is produce. And for addition of all of threes, we created this and we call here. Okay, so what we do is, first train test split, then save on here. If you notice the data injection configuration, inside the configuration we define the training path. If you remember, the inside where the no inside the entity, in the config entity, in the artifact entity, we define the data injection artifact called training path. We did same here. Data injection configuration, then training file path, then test, then this, then initiate all, means all these two function is called with this function. Okay, this is how it's look like, this the class. The first we export from the feature store, then split the data into train test, and we call here and this path. Okay. Okay, so we cover up to this. Then then these threes are these four and fives are nothing but the fixes the fix the error. What is the error? First of all, the import error where if you notice, I close all of this. When you go to src, then go to the pipeline. In the training pipeline, we call all of this. So what is the error is, we cannot found the constant, means we cannot found the constant. I mentioned earlier, in the constant I write all the constant in underscore underscore in it underscore underscore dot py folder. But when the calling time, it's called the this folder, but this folder is not exist, so we need to create this. So after, this is the one problem I suffer. Then in the exception module, what I did is, in the exception module, what I did is, I did this. What means, in I provide error and the system both, but I am not defined on here. So this is one error. After that, the naming issue. So what is issue? For the naming convention, we miss the directory. So if you go to the active, if you click upon the before, if you notice, the ingested is stored on here but not here. So if you look at this folder, inside the data injection, we have the feature store and ingested, but look at before. So I fixed this also. Then the local variable, what is the local variable issues? uh, this local variable is this. I wrongly define all of this part. Okay, here is define the data frame and here is calling the database. So this is the happen on here. Then what I did, then I update this folder. This folder, just a minute. So you cover all of this. So we cover all of this. Then this is the error what I found. So I did all of this. Uh, so these all are the fixes and nothing. First I create the branch. Then I commit all of this. Okay, I am not committed directly on here. I created a branch, then I committed on here. I deleted those branches from both locally and remotely, so you cannot found. And after that, if you notice, I also create the wiki. If you go to the this page, create on wiki. So some networks issue, let me check. Yeah, the network issues going on. So if you notice, my hotspot is off, so I wish the recording is going on. mm, I think it's works now. Yeah, so this is the pages what I created, the project workflow and the debug one and debug 2. So in this time, in the debugging time, we understood the circular imports, missing module and broken. I found all of this from simple LLMs. So we understood how to imports, how to debug, mm, what is the powerful method, how to debug. If you go to here, let me close all of this. So if you go to here, then in the assets, if I go to the src, this is how our flows. If the arrows goes down, then down. If you go to this like this in the circular dependency, then there is an error. So I read this too to understand how this our pipeline and the imports are happens. So I found this, understand our error. After that, we understood, and I understood there is some bugs on not, only the variables naming issues. So I fix all of this and I learn much things. So I this is the study project where I learn not now I'm not I saw in the next time where I learn. Okay, I have in this project flow. If I click upon this, then this project is created with this brother. Okay, so it not mention the YouTube channel, otherwise I show you. Okay, that's it. So here I got this project. Okay, I learn MLOps from this bhai. I called his brother. Yeah. So now I am learning the Kubernetes. Yeah, this is the project. Yeah, this is the project. This is the project what I am doing now. Vehicle insurance data pipeline. I learn from here. But if you notice, I did other things as well. Not only the copy paste, I wrote all of this manually. If you notice in the few side, I also added the comments extra at the top of here, not here. I added later, like these are mentioned here at the top. Okay, so but I use the Polar library here in the notebook. Understand the Polar library. Yeah, that's it. And also create the some test file. So this is the training pipeline test file, test logging, import. This is the import what we got error, the pipeline error, the exception, and the debug the constant, some constant error. Yeah, that's it. So let's let's see how I follow this path. I created wiki as well to understand. Okay, meet you soon. Uh, yeah, thank you for watching. Maybe you are watching or not, I don't know. But if this in future, maybe in I also watch my video, I see how I communicate and share my all of this project showcasing video, uh, how it looks like, and I cannot see my face here. It's yeah, means the communication, and so that I made this video. Maybe in the future anyone see, maybe this helpful, maybe because I am simply learn from this guy and understood how the MLOps is working and giving my uh, what how to say. Yeah, in the next tomorrow night I learn somewhere. If you did something, then create one video uploaded on YouTube. I did something, but not too much. So I think why not uploaded this video. Today is Sunday, so yeah, let's see what happen. Thank you. Join.